We begin tonight with authorities urging Americans to take this Delta variant seriously, spreading quickly, particularly among communities with low vaccination rates. The CDC director today saying we are now witnessing a pandemic of the unvaccinated. Cases, hospitalizations, and deaths all on the rise. But tonight, there is also concern over the danger this poses to children soon going back to school. 12 and under have not been vaccinated. And for these rare breakthrough cases, people testing positive even after they've been fully vaccinated. Dr. Fauci was asked about this today, and Dr. Jha is right here tonight answering your questions. The rate of new vaccinations has now fallen nearly 85% since mid-April, to the lowest level since January. And as the vaccination rate plummets, the number of new COVID cases is now spiking, up nearly 70% from just last week. Tonight, more major metropolitan areas recommending the wearing of masks. Last night, as we came on the air, LA County said it would reimpose the mask mandate indoors, even for those who are vaccinated. And late today, 10 more California counties are now suggesting the same thing. And the growing concern for children not eligible for those vaccines as they prepare to return to the classroom. We have it all covered for you tonight, and ABC's Whit Johnson leading us off.
Tonight, an alarming rise in COVID cases as vaccination rates plunge across the country, down nearly 85% since mid-April, prompting this stark warning from the director of the CDC.
This is becoming a pandemic of the unvaccinated. Our biggest concern is that we are going to continue to see preventable cases, hospitalizations, and sadly deaths.
The administration monitoring the highest transmission in 5 states, including Florida, which accounts for 1 in 5 of all cases in the U.S. And with the Delta variant now dominant, concern about breakthrough infection.
You never expect yourself to necessarily be in that category. But I became one of those unlucky breakthrough cases.
Travis Dejanay says he's fully vaccinated, but tested positive after traveling to Cape Cod for the 4th of July. Current data shows the vaccines remain highly effective at preventing hospitalization and death. But today, Dr. Fauci was asked how much those rare breakthrough cases were contributing to the current spread.
I think one can make a reasonable assumption that it would be less likely that vaccinated breakthrough person would transmit compared to an unvaccinated person.
The U.S. daily case average jumping 129% since mid-June. Today, California topping 4,600 new COVID cases, the most since February. Now, at least 11 counties reimposing indoor mask mandates or recommendations, even for the vaccinated, impacting more than half the state.
We're seeing a significant spike, such that the numbers are about 7-fold.
And with some children returning to the classroom in just days, Arizona educator and parent Katie Nash wants the state to bring back its mask mandate in schools.
It just makes me very apprehensive about what potentially could happen when you have 30 plus kids in a classroom, all working together, sharing that same space, that same air.
Kids under 12 still not eligible for a vaccine, but Pfizer is planning to apply for emergency authorization in September or October. Regulators say they want to see extra assurances the vaccine is safe, possibly extending the time spent monitoring kids for any reactions. That could mean shots into arms by late this year or early 2022.
The notion that children can't be sick or become very sick with this virus is false. This is a disease which can be severe in children, and if we can prevent it safely, we should prevent it.
That's why it's so important to remember the millions of school children heading back to school who have yet to be vaccinated yet. And let's get to Whit Johnson here in New York tonight. And Whit, I know just today the FDA giving us a better sense of a timeline to move from emergency use authorization of the Pfizer vaccine to a full approval of the Pfizer vaccine. And I know many health experts actually hope that this could also be an important step to convincing more people that this is not temporary. It would be a full approval.
David, the FDA granted that accelerated 6-month timeline for review. This could give full approval to the Pfizer vaccine in those 16 and older by January 2022, possibly sooner. And some think this might persuade businesses and schools to require vaccines and perhaps give some of those people still on the fence more confidence to go ahead and get their shots. David?
All right, Whit Johnson, we know you'll be anchoring this broadcast tomorrow night. In the meantime, we know a lot of you at home have questions on this fast-moving Delta variant. The U.S. back to more than 1,000 new cases an hour on average, mostly among the unvaccinated. But of course, there are these reports of breakthrough cases, even if you're vaccinated. And what about the children 12 and under who still aren't authorized to get the vaccine? So let's bring in Dr. Ashish Jha, Dean of the Brown School of Public Health. Dr. Jha, always great to have you. I know you find these new numbers concerning as well, but when you start to hear L.A. County and then late today 10 other counties in California saying that they too would reinstate these mask mandate recommendations indoors when you're out and about, even if you're vaccinated, I'm curious, does that make sense to you? And are we at risk here of going backwards?
Yeah, so David, thank you for having me back this evening. I am really concerned about the state of the Delta variant and the rising number of infections we're seeing across the country. I think these counties are acting prudently because infection numbers are rising so quickly. We can't tell who's vaccinated and who's not. And we do know there are breakthrough infections even for vaccinated people. So it makes sense in places with high rising infection numbers to put the mask mandates back in.
And Dr. Jha, Witt's report there off the top of the broadcast showed that this Delta variant, of course, spreading quickly, especially in places with low rates of vaccinations. But I know it's not just about getting the word out there. There's real concern for children 12 and under who haven't been able to get vaccinated going back to school in the coming weeks. Authorities are really pushing that this is not about just getting yourself vaccinated in these communities. It's about getting vaccinated to slow down the virus to protect the children.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, kids under 12 obviously can't get vaccinated yet. And the best way to protect children is to have the adults around them vaccinated. Kids get the infection from the adults. And if we're going to protect the kids, we've got to have people around them vaccinated.
And in the meantime, Dr. Jha, I know we're starting to hear about more of these breakthrough cases, getting the virus even when you're fully vaccinated. Last night here, we reported on the NFL Network's Rich Eisen saying he's tested positive. He had 2 shots of the Pfizer vaccine. He posted online. He said, every healthcare professional I've come across in the last few days tell me the 2 shots of the Pfizer vaccine I got are what's keeping a 52-year-old like me from a far worse experience than the awful one I'm already having. He said, so be careful if you're vaccinated, and if you're not, don't wait another second. So we have to be realistic here. These breakthrough cases are going to happen.
Yeah, they're starting to rise. And the reason it's happening is because the infection numbers are getting up there so high, and Delta variant is such a contagious virus that we're going to see these breakthrough infections. The good news, David, is that people who have the breakthrough infections don't get super sick. They don't get hospitalized or die at the same rate. So it's still very protective, but it's not 100%. And we're going to see more of these infections as Delta spreads across the country.
All right, Dr. Jha with us here on a Friday night. Dr. Jha, thanks to you as always.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.